Welcome to EVE Online. I'm MAJORFREAK. This is about locator agents. They are agents with an ability to search any player character anywhere. And some places like wormholes, they won't tell you which wormhole system, but the bonus is that it returns a null result, which pretty much refunds your cooldown time with that agent, and you can do another search right away instead of waiting 15 or whatever, how many long the cooldown is. You can find this information, and this is just for noobs. Right now, I'll just show you right here in the info. It'll say Matt's frequency. You can do an agent every 15 minutes, and I don't think the cooldown changes for the level of agent. Let me just confirm that. Just say level 4. Let's see what happens. I think I can bring up his information right now. Oh, okay, so you gotta wait 30 minutes. All right, so it takes 4 minutes to get a result, 2 minutes to get a result, and 20 seconds to get a result, whereas the level 3 agent takes twice that amount but half the cooldown, and it's way cheaper, much cheaper. So I would highly recommend you using level 3 agents. And the great thing about having multiple accounts is you can do a whole bunch at once and then move to another station and do a whole bunch at once. So you can cover a dozen in 3 stations. This is literally what I'm going to be doing. So how can you use this to your advantage? Well, there are some drawbacks. Like I said, wormhole, it won't tell you which system, but it will say it's not in our universe, and you get it back instantly, search again. If they are in the opposite end of the universe, it will tell you different region. It'll cost 100,000 grand for that, and you'll know instantly. It'll charge you right away, and you go, oh, okay, he's in another region. But that can mean anything, because like where I'm at right now, there are, like, I'll show you. I'll make it. Did I close it? Oh my goodness, I'm so silly. Anyways, I was making this paint shop of all the different regions compacted around D'jax. And I think there's about 4 or 5 regions, or maybe 3, at least, I don't know. But it can get confusing. Yeah, within 8 minutes, you'll get response in your communications tab, which is here, and it'll pop up if you've got that, and it's contacts, no, agents, there we go. And it'll say something silly like your sleazebag or your scumbag, or blah blah sleazebag. Oh, it's really scum sucker, stuff like that. It'll tell you where it's at. This was coded before Upwell, so if they are in an Upwell, it'll say in space. There's see, he's in the system. This could either mean he's docked up in an Upwell or actually in space. So you don't know that. Good thing is, when you travel to an Upwell, you can click on it and you can see how many are docked, so you can kind of guess where they are. Okay. So how do you go about, if you have multiple characters? The main part of this video is talking about multiple characters and how to organize it so you're not confused about how to make it efficient. So it's easy, and you don't get messed up, because you can get really confused. Typing out and pasting all this stuff is frustrating, but if you get it down right, you can organize who you're going to search for whom, and that way when you type in a first letter, it'll give you an option and you can populate it quickly, and you can get multiple searches done a lot, and it's very efficient. And you can get everybody, and avoiding overlaps too, because if you get two, the problem is if you start doing this a lot and you get two characters accidentally do the same character in a next day or the next week later, both those characters are going to populate those names, and you might accidentally do locate on the same character at the same time, which would be a waste. So yeah, keep people you're going to search organized into different accounts, characters, mains, whatever that you're using to locate. And locating means you need to do a lot of missions to get up your standings to get access to. I don't do any missions. I haven't done missions in like a decade or something, you know, full time. But it's worth it. Once you get up to that level, you can stop doing missions. Because this is the only reason I do missions, to get the access. And once you got it, you never lose it. All right. So yeah, you bring up the. Second, let me close that. Close this, less cluttered. Okay, so I go for level 3, and I go to, this is near Dodexi. This is the closest locate agent near Dodexi, and within 5 jumps of this location, there's 3 more, and I've I've waypointed that, and I've sent my other guys and set them to optimize route. I just plugged in on those 3 locations I plugged it in. I've got an alt channel for all my alts, and I just plug it in there, and I entered the destinations, add waypoints, and then optimize route, and it gave me those, and all 3 went to this location. So I'll just be able to do this. Now from here, there's a whole bunch, but to keep things sane, you want to keep close to your main hub, where it's going to be convenient for you, so you don't get traipsing way off into the wilderness. So these are the 3 stations close by that are near the hub, and that's how we'll do it, and hopefully they're in a loop. Hopefully. All right. Let's just check the map quickly, and I'll tell you what I mean by a loop. See, top line. Did I spell that right? Yeah. And the first one I usually get is the stats, not the map, but sometimes I'm lucky. There we go. All right, so manage route. Check it out. So I went Valor, and then go to Cat, then I come back to Valor, and Duans. Where do I go? Duans. Wait a minute. Duans. Nope. Where's Duans? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Huh? I am. Then Renan. Then Ursula. Alright, I don't really see a loop here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's nice. Some places you can actually, you have one here, and one here and one here and one here, and you just do this. Or if you had, it's anything with a loop where you can connect it and just keep going back and forth, which is, not back and forth, but around the loop. You know what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, it's helpful, especially if you're doing a lot of them, tracking them when they move. It's all that good. Okay, so it's not the most optimal, but it's the closest we've got. And it would be more if I had better standings, but I'm in Galente space, right? I'm forced to use Caldari. I've got a lot of Amar standings, and it's easier in Amar space to grab locations for me, but this is what we're working with. So, bring this guy up, and now we go, okay, so locate character. Now the thing is, when you bring up this, it blocks out your whole screen. You can't access anything else. So you've got to have it ready for yourself. So what we do is we bring up, oh wait, I've got it minimized. Okay, so let's close this out. Don't need that anymore. Now we've got a bunch of characters I want to search. And since we can't drag it into here because it blocks off everything, we have to prep it beforehand. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So what I'll do is I'll two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got 13. I'm going to eliminate one of them as not needed. Lesnar's just too much. I don't really, he's probably got a dime a dozen. So what we're going to do is we'll probably go with, we're curious about where he is actually. So we're going to toss the less than a year ones. Okay? So we're going to toss this one and this one. I'm not going to deal with them. But we are going to search for all these. And what we'll do, actually, give me a sec. What we'll do is copy here, open up Notepad, pop it in here. What we'll do is we'll divvy it up. So, and doing this beforehand, before you actually start doing anything, is what I'm recommending. Delete all that. Just doing this so it makes it easy for me. Okay, and nope, and yep, and yep. Nope. And yep. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say SENECHAI. HERETICUS. Oh wait. Yeah, whatever. HERETICUS. MAJORFREAK. And MINORFREAK. And I'll get you down here. No, let's keep it in order so I don't get confused. There we go. Okay, so there. Okay, so now we've got this set up. Spreadsheet space. Now we've got this set up how we want it, so nobody's doubling up on searches, and then we go for it. So we're going to use one station. You know, this would be first station, second station, third station, and everybody's going to switch stations each round. So here we go. Okay. Hopefully you have enough. Oh wait, make sure you have enough cash or it gets really annoying. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough. And that's more than good enough. I like to keep my cash in one place, so around 5 million I keep for each character. In their own deposit, 20 million. 1, 2, 3. Done. Ooh, I'm rich. All right, so you do is you bring it up, okay? And you bring it up. The last thing you want to do is get confused if you've actually located in this station. It can get quite annoying. So everybody's got the pop-up. Excellent. And then we start plugging in names. Inkswitch. There you go. Bam. Okay. And next is HERETICUS. Up here. Plug him in. There we go. Move them right in the middle so you don't have to move your... There we go. Okay. And next is MAJORFREAK, and we're going for that one. Yeah. So he's closer by, but like I said, in the Galente space area I'm in, it means absolutely nothing for distance. Okay, that's done. Let's close this out. And MINORFREAK is going to go to that character. This here. Close this out. Accept. Go. All right. It's nice to undock without having to click that pop-up about wars. Off we go. There we go. Yeah, this email took me a week to work up. Probably update it every 2 weeks. Send it off to anybody war decked by War 4. They really ticked me off. I don't like But if you're not at war, use autopilot for this and have small, quick ships. Yeah, counter intel is my specialty. I suck at spying. I would be a horrible spy. I'd be constantly using the wrong channel to type out or speak spy stuff. Yeah, I would burn so many spy characters. It would be horrible. Very embarrassing. So I never tried it because I knew what would happen. Just trying to talk to people in game normally is, you forget which character is speaking in which channel for whom. It's like, I know I'm not going to be a good spy. But counter-intel, yeah, that's a different story. Alright, so, yeah, this took about a week to work up. It was just, they kept poking at us and being annoying and surprising and, well, experienced in what they do, of course. Not very, yeah, it just, the more you looked at it, the more it was tuned to what looked like it just started to look like one person multi-boxing everything. It just started to look that way. The convenient for multi-boxing tactics they were using just spoke to something that didn't involve a lot of logic, and if it did, it was broken down very simply. Mostly they preferred to defend their own upwells and would go in with very low maintenance suicide ships without logi. But when they were on the attack, they would use this very simplistic approach to logi, which seemed to indicate there was more than one player. But when they're on the defensive, it looked very, it started to look very Isboxer. It started to look very suspicious. And I'm sure people like him, if they are cheating, have been getting away with it for so long, because CCP really doesn't care as long as you don't register on the radar for large-scale RMT. I mean, it's just a reality. Just like when you complain about obvious botters at your mining location, they either take forever and you don't know if it's going to work because the botters could have just moved, or they just don't deal with it because, it's not high on the list of, what's, it might be annoying to you, but to CCP, they look at it going, well, he's not doing it on a magnitude that other people are doing in a nullsec with ratting or something like that, so. But, it just became obvious that they picked on easy targets, and they used tactics that might be a bag of tricks, but once they used all the bag of tricks, they become extremely predictable, and more looked like somebody doing a set, almost an autistic set sequence of predictable things, and if he did this, that would happen. It wasn't he would come in with probers and just probe to probe. He would come in with a specific, he'd only use probers if he was prepared and wanting to follow up almost immediately with a certain tactic. And once you know all his tactics, which weren't many, it became cheesy. Once you noticed his cheese, the cheese was obvious. He comes across as somebody who doesn't smack in local, so he doesn't give away the game right away. For that he's good. I'll give him props for that. But every time we've come up in wars against him, I've come either quickly or slowly to the realization that it's not a brilliant tactician or a good theory crafter either. It is just levels of cheese in an onion. And once you get to the middle, you realize, wait, it's been all cheese all along. So for that reason alone, I'll be helping anybody who gets war decked by him for quite some time until I forget, or game's complicated. Okay, here we are, and I just do the whole thing again. I go, oh, who's level 3? There we go, there's my locate. Sometimes you have to parse it and figure out, oh crap, who's my locate agent? You gotta go back into the agency and figure, oh right, there's, in current station, see? Yeah, so, oh okay, that's my guy. But normally you're lucky to one level 3 agent in station. And just up and him, there's only one, so that's simple. There he is. Open up pop-up. And hear that? That's when a notification of people telling me where they're at. And so second station for SENECHAI, it's right here. And SvendHansen, second one there. Gate agent. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, it becomes amazing. And in the past, years and years ago, you used to be able to put people, anyone on your contact list and then watch list non-consensually, and you get a notification when they logged on and off. It was crazy. I enjoy that it took it away, because after a while, I'm paranoid. After a while, I would start seeing false positives about who was logging on at the same time, and it was just, yeah, the paranoia can just get crazy. So I'm glad for that reason I no longer have to have that luxury of finding out when somebody is online, because it used to be great when I didn't scout. I only had one account, and I would depend entirely on my watch list to figure out when they were asleep, because I didn't know who was in the next system right over, because I didn't have a scout alt. Okay, like I said, the distances doesn't really matter in a congested area of space around D'jax. And there, and I just undock, hit autopilot, go to the next one, and Bob's your uncle. You've got locates on a dozen people really quickly. Doesn't take much time, very convenient. And always, like, if you're going to use this area of space a lot, and I probably will in the future, because I'm sure we're on, we're never going to be off Wherefores Rolodex, and every once in a while, once 6 months or a year or whatever, that we'll gain on their Rolodex as they go through it, and we'll get War Deck to gain. That's pretty typical. Yeah, so what I'll do is just send out a corporate email for locates, just corporate, not alliance. Do not. I've sent one in a year. It's very important you don't send out alliance emails. They if you have multiple accounts, it can get really spammy and annoying, especially when people start replying to alliance emails. Alliance. Just, yeah, I don't recommend it. So corp. I think you can do corp. Yeah, there you go. And locate agents, D'jax, because that's the market hub I based where I was going to go. And you just drag these. And I'm pretty sure, wait a minute, I better do this smart, because I don't want to do optimize every single time. So I think it was, no, this is correct, because this is from D'jax. My other guys are elsewhere, so I get confused. So there we go. And spread it out a bit. And yeah, there we go, done. Autopilot. And I'll check my It's usually easier to go through the notification because it'll take you right there. And for this kind of person, they're always busy, always going places, so it's not really going to be useful at all. It might tell you something, but it's nice to know where they are. It just gives you a situational awareness. Arnon, I'm gonna bet all his mains are set up and ready to go gank this one Athenor. Yeah.
Autopilot jumping.
Stackmon is next to an end gateway to nullsec. It's a good market area. He might be there. He might actually, I don't know. But yeah, if you were going to set up a market, that's where I would want to set up a market. But entrance to nullsec would be a good place to sell PvP stuff. So 2 people that we're watching. And of course, there we go, see? And Or, yeah.
Approaching Stargate.
And this guy is... Who is...
Approaching Stargate.
I think this was the neutral bumper. And toll was where we had our team bumped by this person, so he hasn't really moved. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. Kabuoto.
Autopilot jumping.
My bad. Yeah, it's been a while since I read emails from agents. Pretty dumb that way. Okay, so yeah, Kabuto's there. That could be meaningless. He could be in transit, but yeah, it definitely looks like everybody's getting ready at Arnon. And Valerius, that was the bumper. And that person's in stack bonds. So yeah, probably some marketeer or something, who knows. But a neutral bumper. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, totally. Keeping who's get a bit confusing, but once you've started to search using different accounts on certain particular people, it's easier to get a mindset, a build. You can look easily because it's the same character. You can say, where did I search for him last? Where was he? Did he move? Stuff like that. It becomes even more advanced for your intel, because the last thing you want to do is get confused or be switching. The last thing you want to do is waste time, because that's more a detriment than a help, because most of this stuff is pure speculation and random too, so you're never going to get a true picture, and wasting time being inefficient about it just seems like you're adding insult to injury, really.
Approaching Stargate.
Yeah, there we go, perfect. Bring him up. Locate character.
Autopilot jumping.
Where are we at? Alright.
Warping to station. Warp drive active.
Cancel. Close. Locate. Yeah, once you get the circuit going, you can, if you're doing it quickly, you can totally keep track of a few people when they're moving in transit. It's really helpful. And of course, oh, okay. All right. There we go.
Docking
And
permission
let's get this
requested.
set up.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Docking.
Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
So this is how long it takes me to search a dozen characters using locate agents level 3 in stations nearby. Yeah, if you set it up like this, which I never have, I never actually bothered to do it right before. So this is, I'm really enjoying this. You could do it randomly and haphazardly, but this definitely feels 10 times better from a long-term perspective. There you go. And nobody's gonna, I haven't seen anybody in wormhole. Sometimes you'll see these people in wormholes. It's like annoying, but at least it's a quick, easy one. Right. Tar. Okay, Tar is one of their HQ areas. It always seems to be in NPC stations. And at first I thought this person was kind of like a loner among their group, but I think he's actually their CEO. It's not their hunter-killer. Their hunter-killer is Stephan Pappotte, big game hunter. This person is the solo killer, the character the autistic person uses for solo kills mostly, I believe. That's the impression I've got. He's also at Toll. Yeah, I'd actually placed an AFK scout in that system for a while today, and might have got them a little bit upset. Alright, so I'll just wait on that. So yeah, that's how long it takes me to approximately get 12 locate agents on people. Probably 5 more minutes they'll tell me, and then I'll get a good picture about where they are. Then I can actually speculate about what they're doing. But I can tell you one thing, there's an Athenor coming out of reinforcement timer for 20 minutes. In 20 minutes there's going to be an Athenor coming at it for a hull timer. And I was hoping to get a good picture, but I'm pretty sure they'll be starting to head over. They might actually, I don't think they're going to blue ball it at all. I think they'll definitely do something about it. And they're probably just logging on and heading that way with ships to blow them up. They probably have them staged already. I'm going to guess Lashaks and Nesters, and I'm hoping to get some bumpers. I'm neutral now, not at war, so I'll be able to get a few stabbers with oversized micro-warp drives to annoy them. And if they're Lashaks, they're short range, and if I can break their well, they'll just warp back and start up again, and they'll eventually kill it. But I'd like to practice. It's good practice for bumping, especially if they try to evade. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what happens with the locates, and then I'll shut down this video. Yeah, I mean, I use evewho.com. I use zkillboard. Those two in combination are great. I'll look at the war history, of course. I think these guys have been war decked only once by these guys, but this is a misnomer because I think these guys have had a different corp in the past, and they've just started up game with a new corp under the same icon and the same kind of name. They're noobs. Yeah, so I depend on this a lot. I definitely look at, once you start, it's just a level of motivation, how motivated you are to search the kill boards to look at patterns and what kind of doctrines they use. So yeah, it's a slow amalgamation of a whole bunch of resources and motivation too, because it's like takes time to go through freaking zkill and, you know, look at war decks, and especially when you're looking at war reports, you go through and, okay, what do they attack here, and go through here, and you go through the Finnish wars. And I went back to 2020 all the way through it all to see if there was there were people I could contact who had been engaging them, but as I expected, nobody replied for a number of reasons, probably mainly because they don't give a shit. You know, what's they've dealt with warfare for, their war deck, some high deck war deck, they just don't, it doesn't seem important enough or relevant to them unless it's actually happening to them personally, which is a stupid way to play any game, especially a MOG game. But Smog's free, and that's people. So, and anybody I've seen who has banded together is only interested in helping getting other people to help them, which is just, you know, after you see what is going on, that they don't respond to anything that helps others, but only respond to stuff that helps them. It just, yeah, there's that people too. Alrighty. I shouldn't dawdle too long. I need to buy a stabber and head that way. And I'll probably use MINORFREAK for that. How far am I from Dodixie? Won't take that long to get there. 4 jumps. Okay, let's go. 4 jumps, and that'll be at a waypoint. Yeah, let's not screw around. Let's head on out because job's done. I don't need to stick around anymore. I'm gonna put you guys. I'll probably. These are courier boats, so I'll probably just stuff them into Dixie. I don't really need them all the way back at the staging area I'm at right now. Yeah. I'll send everybody to Dixie and drop these courier boats, recon boats off. I think you can fly stabbers. Pretty sure. Yeah. Dirt. I think that's my last round. Check where these guys are. Get a good feel. Okay, Tar. He's in space. I'm going to assume that he's docked at... Oh. So 2 mains at Arnon.
Drive active. Autopilot engaged.
There we go. And off.
Autopilot jumping. Active. Drive active. Drive active. Approaching Stargate.
Yeah, that's his solo killer.
Warp drive active.
And about 12 minutes left.
Autopilot engaged. Autopilot jumping. Approaching Stargate. Moving to Stargate. Warp drive active. Warp drive autopilot jumping.
Alright. Oops. Hold on.
Autopilot jumping.
Just click on this.
Approaching Stargate. Warping to Stargate.
Yeah.
Drive
didn't move since last time, and this one's in Stackmon, and I think I have one last one coming up here. Valerius. I think I searched for this already. I wonder why it's taking so long. Interesting. Might have forgotten. I don't know. I'll just watch the video and see what happened. Right. Turn on autopilot. So Arnon, of course we know where he is. He already moved to Arnon. Okay. Go. Yeah, they're pretty much set up and ready to go. I'm sure that all their mains will head over if they feel the need to. I'm sure they're just trolling those people right now. And we'll probably go in... Yeah, the ADDENDUM, I'm sure he'll dock up and come back with the shacks, and they like using the shacks and nesters for this. Hopefully I'll be able to do something about that. Yeah. Oh, wait. And go.
Approaching Stargate.
Yeah, so definitely run missions. It helps you get locate agents. Tar. Toll. Alright, whatever. It's just near there. HQ systems. Everybody's on the way. Good, good. Ace. Yeah, I don't think I'll get... I must have messed up on the search for that 12th character. Or, okay, anyways, hopefully that was helpful. And you learned something on how to apply and organize and make your life a lot easier when you're trying to get intel on somebody.